All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 448 of the First to Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today we're going to talk about both. We're going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons, talk about what these two up-and-coming running backs going to be able to do going forward since Cordell Patterson went down. And we're also going to start talking about Georgia Southern versus Georgia State. This is State Hate Week. We do not like these guys, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the show, slightly, not too long, but we're going to make a dedicated episode of that down the road, but we're going to start getting to that in this episode. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the First to Frame Rate Show. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, so you can listen to the podcast at your leisure on those avenues. I want to thank everybody for the support. A lot of social media attention is coming my way, and I really appreciate it. I like having fun on social media, whether it be on Twitter or on Discord, because, Discord, we're moving, a lot of dialogue over there to the Discord. If you want to talk more Georgia Southern stuff, or whatever the case may be, it is a good time over there. The link will be down in the description for the Discord. I highly recommend you go check that out. The guys over there and the females, because we do have a lady there, they're phenomenal. They're very phenomenal. They know a lot about the team and the teams that we're facing, and it's just a good time. So all that stuff links down in the description if you want to support it in any way possible. It helps to help the podcast and the channels grow. Let's go ahead and get into this. Tyler Allgeier and Kayla Huntley showed you what could be possible when they are able to move the ball, with the running game. These two guys are going to have to pick up a lot of slack because of what Cordell Patterson was contributing to the team. And I know I saw a lot of rumblings about what was going on with Cordell Patterson. He's getting up there in age. He's 32. We did use him a lot, especially last year. And I kind of see the writing on the wall on that now. I see the writing on the wall after it's written. Hindsight is 2020, right? Because during the preseason he was held out a little bit. He wasn't. He was limited a lot. But when we actually used him, he was very effective. I don't know if the knee situation was something that was ongoing, but he's on RI. He's going to be missing at least 4 games with the knee injury. He said he had a slight procedure. The procedure went well. So hopefully we'll have him back later on in the season, because we could use his abilities. I mean, he was really, really good for us last year, and he was really good for us in the Seahawks game. But when you turn your attention to other people who can step up and contribute, I'm not going to sit here and necessarily say that we need both running backs to fulfill his shoes, because I said that in a video I did earlier, and I still kind of stand by that. But we have 2 running backs that are talented that probably could carry the load for that amount of times that Cordell Patterson did. The only thing about Cordell Patterson, he can play wide receiver, he can play other positions, but as far as running back alone, I think one of these guys could carry the load. But the fact that Cordell does so much, you're going to need 2 to get that much of an output of production. So this is where these 2 guys come in. Tyler Allgeier, Kayla Huntley. Now, if you're a Georgia Southern fan, you know a little bit about Tyler Allgeier. Tyler Allgeier and BYU came to Georgia Southern. They came to Paulson, and they beat us in the game that I felt that we should have won. We had a chance at one point, but Tyler Allgeier did show what he could do against our defense. So we saw him live and in person. So it's good to see him as a Falcon and actually doing something for the good guys and not the opposition. And Caleb Huntley pretty much came out of nowhere. One thing I will say, I did not do enough digging and information on Caleb Huntley, and that's mostly on my part. That's a failure on my end. I didn't do enough of information on him, and I wish I did, because it seems like he has a pretty cool story. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, and let's say he played at Locust Grove High School. This is a really cool, story. A guy who's from the area get to play here, and a lot of people was talking about Nick Chubb, and he was from Cedartown and this, that, and you get it. I mean, he's a hometown kid too, but Caleb Huntley stole the show. He stole the show this past game. And when he came through and made a name for himself for others that don't know much about the Falcons, it's a beautiful story. I mean, for him to come in and actually make some things happen against the Cleveland Browns, which actually had a pretty good run defense, offensive line just pretty much pushed him around. And it was like pretty cool to see. So with him on top of on top of Tyler Allgeier, I think we're going to be doing some really good things with these two guys. And Tyler Allgeier, I was kind of iffy on him as well because I was looking at him and like, okay, he could be a steal in the draft because, like I said, I saw him play against my Georgia Southern Eagles, and I was like, okay, this kid looks pretty good. But when I saw, the way that he played and he slipped to the 5th round, and I was like, okay, I want to see something, and I didn't see much. I was like, maybe he's not that 5th round still that I thought he was, but he turned around and actually, did some things. And this game is only one game for both guys. I know it's only one game, but going forward, if this offensive line can continue to move guys around like they've been doing, I think these two guys are going to be able to shine. And I would love to see both of these guys get 75 yards a game apiece. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that would be really cool. One person get 100, another person gets 45, 50 yards. That would be really nice to see. Because, the thing about with Marcus Mariota, he's a little bit limited right now. He's not really doing what we thought he'll be able to do. But he's doing just enough to get by. And if you get a running game with a guy who's doing just enough to get by, we could win a handful of games in this league. So the quarterback situation is a whole nother situation I want to talk about sometime down the road. But I like this duo right here. These two guys look like they're going to be able to do some really special things. I mean, we saw what they did against, like I said, a defense that's actually, I'm not saying they're like one of the best defenses in the league right now, but they were been known for, stopping the run in some ways. And Kayla Huntley and, they did one drive when they just ran it the entire time. They did it like, there's another reference. They did it Georgia Southern style when they just ran the ball on every play and scored. So it was a beautiful thing. So they're going up against Tampa Bay next, this upcoming game, and that's going to be a tall task for the Falcons. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. If anything, we need to find a way to rely on our defense to do some things because the Tampa Bay offense is lacking a little bit. Maybe we'll be able to do some things and get some opportunities and take advantage of them because that's what Atlanta has been doing lately. They took advantage of some turnovers and shut the games down that when the other team was threatening, and we got some turnovers through a couple of fumbles in the past few games. So we'll see what they do. If we can get the running game going on top of that, I think, not only that this duo will continue to make a name for themselves, but the Falcons as a whole will make a name for themselves. So it's going to be really awesome to see. All right, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to jump over to Southern State. If you're looking at the screen, hi Gus, how you doing? Retro Gus with the awesome. I mean, this whole get up, this whole image right here of Gus with the old school mascot. I mean, we need more of this in college football in general, like using a mascot as part of the logo or using a mascot or a cartoon mascot for it. I mean, it's a really good feeling. It's an old school feeling. It brings kids in too, like, that will actually love the mascots, whatever the case may be. Not saying that they don't, but you know what I mean. Southern State. Now, I'm gonna talk about this briefly. I'm going to be on here for probably about the next 5 to 7 minutes. And I'm going to tell you an issue what I have with Southern State. Why we don't like State. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a prerequisite, and I don't speak for the whole fan base. I don't speak for all of them, and they may think differently. But I always keep it football related. And I always try to keep it based on everything in that realm of football, which even though that there are rivals, which, the last regime didn't want to think of as a rival, but that's another story for another day. I do respect when any team does something that looks really nice. That's something that's really good. Like I mean, Coastal's not our rival, but that last drive that Coastal made, I mean, it was you got to respect that. But with that being said, Georgia State beating Army. Let me tell you something. Georgia State did something that we weren't able to do. I think it was last year. Yeah, it was something we weren't able. No, the year before last. It was the year before last. We weren't able to beat Army at Army, but Georgia State did it. Yeah, I tip my hat to them. They went up to Tennessee and beat Tennessee. I tip my hat to them. But I don't like this team. I'm gonna give you my reasons why I don't like this team, and we're gonna get into this. Georgia State has not had a football program for that long, and they always hang their hat on this 5-3, series lead. I don't care about that. I mean, it's really for us here at Georgia Southern that have a storied history that goes, back into the 80s. We're not necessarily hurt or we don't feel some type of way because you won 2 more games than us against us. Could care less about it. To be honest, it don't mean much of anything. I know you guys are in your infancy. You're trying to, hang your hat on something. That's cool. But in the scheme of things, honestly, it's irrelevant. It's almost like if y'all guys start playing Kennesaw State or something and they beat you 2 out of 3 times, you're not going to make it a big deal for you. So we're not going to make it a big deal for us. Now, what is a big deal is the fact that you guys are in our state, or we're in the same state, and we're basically in the same division. And we're in this, of a prominent conference, and we got to deal with you as a football program as far as getting recruits, bragging rights, and just showing you guys that we are a dominant program. We had our ups and downs, yes, but before you guys even thought about it as a football program, we were winning titles. You know what I mean? We were winning championships. So I get it. You want to make this fun. I'm here to make it fun. I'm going to sit here and troll you guys till the cows come home. It's not going to stop. I just got finished trolling Ben Moore once again about the attendance problem that they have. And I'm going to go at your neck every time about it. Not verbally, I'm going at your neck, but you know what I mean. I'm coming for you guys every time I get a chance to, because I want to make it be known and make it clear that we're going to make this a rivalry. I don't care if this is a one-man band that's making it happen. But every chance I get, I'm going to clown you guys. I'm going to say something funny about you guys because I want this to be a rivalry. It needs to be a rivalry. I don't care what past players have said or past coaches have said, any of that stuff. I don't care about that. We're going to make it a rivalry as fans because this means a lot. We're not about to be like a group of 5 school that, to be honest with you, we have a more decorated past than any other school in the state, in my opinion. I don't care what Georgia has to say. They won their national title 40 years apart. That's cool. I tip my hat to them. But we got 6 national titles over here. We got a handful of bowl wins. We won real playoff games. So they can miss me with the lack of talent. Oh, you play high school ball or whatever the case may be. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. It's college football, however you want to string it. And you guys would love to have what we have as far as what's in our trophy case. Stop it. And I'm not trying to put a knock on Georgia football, because those guys feel like they're so entitled, and they have every right to be on the top of the mountain right now. You beat Alabama handily, and you guys are the champs. But let's not sit here and act like that we don't have nothing down here. And this is another reason why I do not care too much about Georgia State and their prominence. You got a couple of bowl wins. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But y'all don't touch a candle to, and this is what makes it so frustrating, that the fact that it is 5-3, which I said I really don't care, but it's frustrating that it is, because we're better than that. Yeah, we had a couple of problems with coaching and the culture, and the things have changed. The things have changed what it used to be in the FCS, but that stuff is going. In my opinion, I think that stuff has stopped. All the stuff that that been going on, Coach Clay Helton, that stuff stopped, and it put a lot of people on notice. And they thought it was a joke until we went up to beat Nebraska. They thought it was a joke until then, or they thought it was a joke until we blew out Morgan State the way we did. And they saw this offense wasn't this is not a run first triple option type team. Oh, these guys mean business. You damn right we mean business. And I give all the credit to the quarterback Granger up there at Georgia State. He's slinging the ball. He did pretty good. I mean, that's one thing I can say. He can throw. They got a couple of athletes that can play. But this year, I'm going to be honest, there's no reason why we cannot go up the Paulson North, Turner Field, whatever you want to call it. There's no reason why we can't go up there and smack these guys around. They are an inferior team this year. Now, last year, I get it. You guys were doing pretty good, but it stops now. It stops. Last couple of years you had us, I get it, but it stops now. It stops. Full stop. I don't see you guys outgunning Kyle Van Treese, and I don't think your defense is nowhere near as good as trying to stop us. Now, our defense is going to be a little suspect. I will say that. Granger may have a pretty good game, and I'm going to talk about that when I get more down the road to talk about the pregame, but I do feel that Granger is going to try to have a field day with us. Those guys got some confidence from beating Army, and like I said, he can throw the ball. You know, so at the end of the day, I want to see these guys do something really nice. Georgia Southern, that is. I want to see these guys do something nice, and I think they'll be able to. But I'm just laying it out why we don't like this school. Y'all are supposed to be our little brother. We made the mistakes at this time. It's on us. It ain't you guys. It's on us. We the one that made this a series that have you guys all hyped up. But make no mistake, this series is the only thing y'all hang your hats on, because y'all can't go toe to toe to us with the prestige and the history of this team. That's why I like Appalachian State. I got a lot of respect for Appalachian State because they've done it. They've been through the FCS. They went through the trenches. They won national titles. That's why we respect those guys. There's nothing but respect for them. You guys, on the other hand, I'm not saying that you haven't earned some form of respect, but I just refuse to. Because it shouldn't have been like, I'm more mad at us than I'm mad at you guys for actually beating us. But like I said, I feel like that's all that's going to stop now. I will be super distraught if we lose this game this Saturday. Seriously. Now, I'm not even joking. I'm making plans to be down at that game in Atlanta. I already got the tickets. I already got everything set up. All I got to do is show up. And I don't want my team to be embarrassed. And I know it will be devastating. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. But I expect us to beat you guys. I don't like you. I don't. It is Southern, not State, and it's going to stay that way. I don't have much else to say. I'm going to leave it at that. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to get up out of here. I think I said enough. I done fueled the flames. I done did as much as I could to get everybody riled up, and I'm going to continue to do so. Find me on Twitter at VFBaller. Catch me in the Discord. The link is down in the description. You guys could talk more about Georgia Southern football and all other things under that umbrella, Atlanta Falcons stuff as well. Let me know what you think about Tyler Allgeier and Kayla Huntley, and I will see you guys on the next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.